welcome our dad and your mayor, John Tory.
It seems to me that job one over the next few years is to continue the work of connecting Toronto up in many different ways, to bring opportunities closer, to bring people closer, to bring us closer to our ultimate goal, which is a truly great 21st century city, a livable, affordable city with opportunities for everybody.
And we are at John Tory's campaign headquarters where he gave his jubilant victory speech. And joining me is Bob Richardson. You were his campaign co-chair in 2014 when he made his first win. How do you think his second term will differ from his first?
This is a huge win for the mayor tonight. He won right across the city in all 25 wards and got a huge percentage of the vote, 40% difference between his closest opponent, Jennifer Keesmaat. That is a lot of support across the city. He can effectively speak for the city of Toronto after that win, so I think that bodes well. He also did very, very well on the election of councillors. With it being reduced to 25, a lot of the people that he wanted to see elected got elected tonight, and that bodes well for running council too. And
in a very unusual mood, he was actually trying to stack the deck, if you will, and really getting involved in 4 races in particular where he threw his support behind them. So, for example, Joe Mihevc versus Josh Matlow. Matlow won, though. But now, is the balance of power sort of right-leaning or left-leaning in Toronto City Council?
I'd say it's John Tory leaning, even among some of those moderates. People like a Brad Bradford, who's moderate, probably moderate center-left, owes a lot to John Tory.
And he came from nowhere.
And he came from nowhere and made a huge difference. I think he was very helpful to James Pasternak, helpful to Mark Grimes, helpful to a number of other councillors. So I think he's got a lot of political capital in the bank. And what John Tory needs to do this term is to spend it and to complete his agenda on transit and a number of other things to get things done. And I think he's got the council support to be able to do that.
Premier Doug Ford was accused of trying to manipulate this election so that he would be controlling City Council from Queen's Park, and that it was a vindictive move and he was trying to get rid of some left-leaning councillors. Do you think that, A, is there any merit to that, and B, did Doug Ford, if so, get what he wanted?
Well, Doug Ford didn't get what he wants. I think it's very much a moderate, middle-of-the-road council. There's very few right-wingers left. One of his closest allies, Giorgio Mammoliti, was defeated. Vince Crisanti was defeated. Frank DiGiorgio was defeated, and the list goes on. So, in actual fact, I think it's a moderate, centrist council, and it's a council that John Tory worked with, and it's a council that knows that their constituents voted for John Tory and voted for him in overwhelming numbers.
What is John Tory's biggest challenge going to be when it comes to Doug Ford?
He's going to have to really carve out an agenda with the Premier. The Premier's got some very clear views. He's served on council. That's not a surprise. So the two of them are going to have to figure out the areas that they can work together on and really get focused on those. They should be able to get a lot accomplished over the next 4 years.
Bob Richardson, thank you very much for joining us this evening. It is certainly going to be fascinating to watch the next 4 years unfold and how this newer, smaller council acts together.
Thank you, Cynthia.